I'm an industrial engineer and I used to work for Toyota making cars. That was a dream job that I got into almost 1 year of following up, struggling. But within the first 6 months of me working at Toyota, I happened to meet this man. He is my teacher, Dr. Akira Miyawaki. What he is holding in his hand is a plant called seedling, a plant made out of seed of a tree. In 1970s, he invented a methodology that would bring back the potential natural vegetation of any particular place, the vegetation that existed before human intervention can be brought back in a small period of time. These patches of forest, according to the definition, are so dense that you can't even walk into them, irrespective of their size. Toyota invited Dr. Akira Miyawaki to India. He gave a lecture very similar to this setup, showed this picture, and the Toyota India decided to plant a forest in the factory premises. I became a volunteer in that project, learned how to plant forest, wrote standard operating processes so that a layman like me can also make these forests without the help of the scientists. And those SOPs became the foundation of our company. I started a company in 2011 that would plant forests professionally using the Miyawaki method of afforestation. Within the first 2, 3 years, as our pilot projects, the initial projects grew, we started getting work from all over the world. Some of the forests that we have planted have grown in America, Europe, Australia, Netherlands, Canada, some of the most difficult geographies of the world as well. This was our first project in Rajasthan, which came out through ink. At Dhun, with Manvendra and team, we planted this forest. Within a year, we could see the results that people in that region never believed can occur. This motivated us to start a permanent project in Rajasthan called Maruvan, Forest of the Desert. The world we live in today has a very different aspiration, though. The so called developed world that we are trying to create, the world of skyscrapers, high rises, doesn't have the quality of life that people actually require. Clean air, fresh water, healthy, nutritious food, the basics of human life are non existent in the world that we are trying to create, in the cities that we are trying to create. We are also trying to create a parallel future with the University of Harvard reimagining the city of Springfield, Massachusetts for 2070, when the cars would be automated and all the space that would be made available by converting the highways of today into roads for automated vehicle. The additional space that these cities will produce will be used to create urban linear forest. I believe projects like these will make a lot of sense because most of the human civilizations that we see around us that have still survived started either in a forest or close to a forest, like our own Indian civilization as well. Whichever age it would have been, the last picture is actually just 300 years old. Whether it's the king or the working class or saints, we were always living close to trees, forest, and most of the materials also came from the forest on which life depended on. However, the current life in India is totally opposite of what culture had always been. Trees are still part of our culture, very close to that burning field that you saw. We are worshipping the trees in the gurudwaras in Punjab. This is tree called Beri Sahib. But at the same time, we are totally unaware of what is our natural heritage. I show this picture in Punjab a lot, asking people where this would be from. And they give different answers. One kid also told me that it could be from Narnia. But this picture came from a sacred grove. Again, very close to that burning field that you saw. Most of the Punjabis don't go to these grooves, they don't know what the natural heritage is. However, the basics of afforestation in the Miyawaki methodology comes from collection of seeds from the mother trees of such kind of trees. And in Japan, Dr. Miyawaki went to something called Shinji no Mori, the Mori of the shrine, the forest of the shrine, where he could collect seeds and start the methodology back in 70s. India, luckily, still have thousands of such sacred groves intact where we can collect seeds and bring back our lost forests. But why do this? This is a current picture of Taj Mahal, and there is a complementing garden in front of it. The garden in front of Taj Mahal, however, did not look like this 100 years ago. In fact, the garden looked very similar to the forest that we are planting today. So we are not selling a new concept. We are not selling a Japanese methodology. We are just bringing back what rightfully should have been existed at any given patch of land. And it is not that just aping the West, converting our forests into lawns is the only way of creating the cities of future or the cities of today. The most expensive premium real estate is the Central Park facing sky rises of New York. However, still there is a fundamental problem with this kind of design. People are not interacting with forest in the forest facing buildings of New York. They are living around grass lawns. That's where the residences are. We presented this slide to the municipality of Paris. They understood that it will take a lot less money to plant a forest instead of maintaining a lawn. And they gave us the first project in Paris to create a forest along the periphery. Most of the cities of today began through deforestation. The forest would go through clear cut, farming would get started, a village will get established, the village will grow and become a city. So why not bring back the original forest back into the city that has already been created using a different approach towards landscaping? Instead of landscaping, moving towards forestscaping, designing forests that are an integration of art, design, and forest, where we can get into the forest, interact with it, make use of it, so that we can create a world where humans live in cities in harmony with nature. Thank you very much. Thank you.